Hello and welcome to Who Does Rolls TV. I am your host, Mike B. So it's been a while since we've been on, and basically life has intervened in Who Does Rolls. Obviously, I work full time and I have a toddler and teenagers and stuff, so that doesn't help. But yeah, I've been busy with lots of stuff going on. So work intervened entirely. Not to give too much away, I say I work in a retail outlet, a popular retail outlet. And this week, a member of the public decided to drive a car into it. Accidentally, no one was hurt, it was all fine. Did involve me being there till about 3 a.m, which essentially meant I lost one whole evening's sleep. And the next day I was subsequently looking after Isaac, who decided, as toddlers oft to do, to not sleep at all. So I'm pretty much jet lagged. I've lost one night's sleep this week. I've not caught it up. And what I have been doing in the various small increments of free time I've had is trying to sleep. So the monster is our friend. This episode will be sponsored by energy drinks. So, that's a very loud noise. That's kind of gives you a rough gist of where we're at. So, not much been going on. We've been playing, so what we've played, let's do what we've been playing.
What's Mike played? I really want to know what Mike's played. What you played, Mike? Oh, and you other guys too.
Yeah, so what we played. Not a lot. So we are on our final game of Clank Legacy, actually, to be played. We're going to be playing that tomorrow, which is Sunday. So we will be finishing Clank Legacy. It's been, on the whole, an enjoyable thing. I will do a review once we've completed the campaign. But in a nutshell, I think I covered this off before. It's generally been quite enjoyable. I enjoyed a lot of what it's done. The legacy aspect's been quite nicely drip-fed through nothing astonishing. But interesting story. It's funny. I've not followed there's Acquisitions Incorporated, which is linked to stuff that I've not looked at. So maybe some of the gags are flying over our heads. But generally, it's been entertaining and amusing, and especially when you get to name stuff and do stuff. That's been also a great deal of fun. And generally on the whole, it's been one of the more interesting and better legacy games. It's just where we are now, just a quick straw poll, as it were, between myself and I in regards to legacy games. Probably the high watermark was stuff like Risk Legacy, the first one I played. That was incredible and still is very good. Pandemic Legacy Season 1 was excellent. Really enjoyed that. Season 2 fell a bit flat for us. In fact, we've not actually finished our campaign of Season 2. I think we got to about October. We just kind of broke the game and lost interest in it. Seafall was a bit of a disappointment, if I'm honest. We did a review of that. Look on the website, you'll see the full review of that. But yeah, that wasn't as stunningly fantastic as it could have been. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around on the legacy stuff. Betrayal Legacy, we are playing. I'm quite enjoying Betrayal Legacy. Jamie, one of our group, I think he's less enjoying it, so he's been reticent in us to continue the campaign. But we're only about 2 or 3 games left of finishing that, so maybe we'll sit down and get through the rest of that and enjoy that. And there's a bunch of other stuff that I know that's out that we haven't actually picked up yet or even looked at, but I am quite interested by. Rise of Queensdale was something that's tempted me, and the one that Shut Up and Sit Down really reviewed most recently is The King's Dilemma, which does sound fascinating. Unfortunately, Shut Up and Sit Down have given it a very good high rating, which means that you won't be able to buy it for about 6 months. So we'll put that aside and worry about that later. Other stuff we played was Charterstone. I found was just a bit because it didn't embrace the legacy element. The whole point of a legacy is that you are changing the game permanently and throwing stuff away. Whilst it did some of that doing it, it never fully committed, in my opinion, to doing a full legacy game. You could obviously reset it, and it wasn't really. It was all right. It was just generally, again, rather like Seafall, was not a great game to begin with. So it was an okay experience, mediocre, I would say. Scythe, we played Legacy of that, and again suffered the same issues. I'm not a huge Scythe fan. I play it and it's enjoyable, but I'm not one that I'm desperate to go back to and play again. We played Legacy, well, the campaign of that, which had legacy-ish elements. Again, didn't really fully legacify it's like, is that even a word? But yeah, so again, it was okay. It was all right, interesting. I found it a little bit but that was it. Obviously, Gloomhaven, which was fantastic. Really, we loved Gloomhaven. And that legacy again was scattered throughout. That wasn't like all encompassing, but what it did very well. Off the top of my head, that's all the legacy games I can think of that we've played or playing or in the process of. I've got Gen 7 on the shelf of shame that I picked up a while back, and we still haven't actually managed to get that out to the table and play because the rules are a bit of an abomination if you've not played that. I think that's it really in regards to proper legacy games. And so that's where we stand on that. So definitely top tier of that is Risk, Pandemic Season 1, and Gloomhaven, and Clank has been very, very good. And Betrayal was all right. Other than that, some of the others have been kind of a bit flat. There's more out there, and there's more coming. And obviously, there's a Pandemic Season 3, which is interesting. See what they do with that. See if they can come back from the brink. So that's all of that. So what I thought I'd do, just quickly while we're here, we are in Who Dares Roll's HQ, and it's some semblance of untidiness. Let's have a little look around in here. Let's do that. Let's have a tour of the Who Dares Roll's HQ. So let's do that about now. So there we go. Right, we're mobile. So there we go. What we got going on over here? So, well, there's the Seafall map. That is one of our Seafall campaign maps from one of our games. We played 2 games of it. Unbelievably, madness took place. Couldn't control myself, but there we go. There is one of the 2 Seafall campaign maps. Spoilers for anyone who's watching there. And then we come across over here. So this is the Shelf of Shame. So we've got Subterra 2 there, which we've not even looked at. Gen 7, I talked about that a minute ago. Betrayal Legacy, we've got to finish. Geode actually played. That's very cool. I need to do a review of that. It was quite interesting. Coming to Kickstarter. It's like a tower laying game. Watch back on one of the videos. Foothills, the Snowdonia 2-player game, the Possession, we picked up a Dragon Meat, still haven't even opened that. Sense of Ghosts, again, we got that Dragon Meat, it's a local designer, we need to look at that. SSO is like a little sort of hidden traitor, sort of a bit like Gen 7 actually, and stuff. I bought that, so that's kind of on the bottom of the list. There's a small box here, which is Yeti and House. We got a UK Expo last year, still sat on the shelf. Firefly Adventures, we need to review that. Vector Race, I've got to get that reviewed. Outbreaks come through recently, we need to review that. Then the support stuff, LA Crimes, the 80s version of Detective. Still haven't managed to get a chance to play that. Robinson Crusoe Mystery Tales, which is legacy-ish, actually, speaking of legacy. And I've had a little look at that. It looks very cool. Over there is lots of Race for the North Pole copies. There's the last few left of those. I was doing bits for Dice, and I had some of those I was giving out and stuff. Along with Seventh Continent, that's unplayed currently. Thanks to Chris from UK Gaming Media Network for sending me his spare cards for that. Some Descent and Advanced Hero Quests, because Xavier Home should have those. Blockbusters randomly. And some expansion boxes, they're empty. Then more brown boxes and stuff, because we do that. Some comic boxes, lots of them. We like comics over here. Don't look too closely. There is the Clank Legacy board that is near completion. But look away, along with the Alien RPG, which, there we go, there's that. That's from Free League. That I'm currently in the process of reading the rules on that, because I'm quite interested in running a game of that. Some variety of crap there. There's a radiator to keep us warm. So here is the small box stack. So this is all the small box games. Let's have a look over here at this. So there we go. We've got, this is very cool actually. Mondrian. I don't remember now. It's a really cool. Picked up at the Essen couple of years ago. Not great production quality, but cracking little dice game of like painting. That is the thingy-majig. Can't think of his name on the top of my head. There we go. Fun Employed. Quite entertaining. Party-ish game. What an Eye. The successor to the Glory to Rome. A game I've not actually managed to get a game of playing because it's quite involved. It's good. We love Glory to Rome, but there we go. Some monikers. Here Comes the Dog. Random Skulls. Always worth having. Good party game. Sail to India. Really cool little mini box game. Before the Tiny Epic games. Sail to India was the Tiny Epics before the Tiny Epics. Really good little resource management game. Coup, great. Vault Wars was really good fun. Lifeboat, again, another good social deduction. The original Luchador, lovely. Some Inner Binds and more monikers, always good. Hard paperback, not played that very often recently. Oh, I managed to go off piste. Let's get rid of that out of the way. Yeah, so paperback and monikers and the Inner Bind. And then down here, some other stuff. What have we got here? We didn't play the testers at all. Chronicles really good. Cousins War, really cool little 2-player battle game from Surprise Stare. More stuff. Don't Mess with Cthulhu, excellent. Impulse, quite good fun actually. Little 4X game in a small box. Tiny thing, really good. Diamonds, really good. Stronghold game, really, if you like your pokers and set collecting, that's kind of really good. Not Alone, that's not bad. Good little socially deduction-y sort of one against many game. And the Resistance, a firm favourite that everyone should have in their collection. Really good sort of hidden traitor game in a small box. Then over here, it's just random crap, really. So there we go. There's some random crap. Star Wars DVD game. And then more stuff there. Random odds and sods. Falland. Interesting. That was picked up. There's a South Korean game. And I've never played it, but I picked up Essen as a good few years ago. And there she lays. It's got a Randy Pink panda on the front of the box. There he is. Looking suitably randy. Expansion for Spartacus, which I think has got the Thing print-to-play game in there for Mark Chaplin, designer of Lifeform. Illustrations, great game. Seagology, the book, the study of ass-kicking films of Steven Seagal. Every home should have one of them. Boulder Dash, good fun. Shadow Taxis, forgot I have that. That's the pre-production version of that. And then we've got just random stuff. Taj Mahal, really nice Knizia game actually. Then there is a random array of nonsense. Ominous hieroglyphs, an aircon cup. New Earth. Oh, New Earth. Oh, how we loathe you. This should be on the pile of shame. This is one I've been meaning to review for ages. I've promised a couple of people this. If you don't know the full New Earth story, have a look on Board Game Geek, but essentially the designer's a sociopath. I'm going to get sued for that. But yeah, he has a real issue with people negatively reviewing New Earth. New Earth is just, look how fascinating that looks. Yes, we're going to play that soon. We should do that. That should be fun. Then down here, what else have we got? Dolores. And we got some more Dungeon Raiders, a Phil Walker Harding game. That's really nice art on that. It was redone by Diva. And some Gloomhaven bits. Some Buck Rogers. Buck Rogers, the board game. Classic, along with Buffy. This is the good Buffy game. Then we've got Go, we've got some train games, Monopoly, Tropical Tycoon, the only Monopoly game actually almost worth playing with a DVD if you've got one. Crossfire, who doesn't want to play Crossfire? Atmosphere, So that's kind of crap. Then down here, it's just a random amount of stuff on the floor. I think I was probably getting stuff to take out. Crazy Monkey Coconuts, very good fun. Galactic Truck, always good. Oh my God. They're along here, so we've got the full Shelf of Shame. This is just kind of stuff that's in between. Well, there's Detective. City of Angels, really cool. Need to finish that, actually. Not play much of that. Imperial Salt expansions, a bit of Blood Bowl, Luchadors, good fun. Joking Hazard, surprisingly entertaining. Diplomacy, the game that we don't play anymore because I did horrible things to Bob in it, and he's never forgiven me. Oh, yes. Dark Future, classic bit of Games Workshop history. It's basically Mad Max, the board game. Very good fun. Up here, Spirium, another really cool little sort of Euro-y sort of game. It's by William Attia. It was out of print. It's in and out of print random. If you can get hold of it, it's a really cool little resource engine builder-y sort of Civ game. It's good. Have a look at it. Lewis and Clark, fantastic. Love that. Shame that's out of print. Chainsaw Warrior, classic bit of Games Workshop, single-player game. It's essentially a John Carpenter movie in a box. Very good fun. Gore Chosen, bit of Games Workshop, good fun arena battle. Catacombs, 3rd edition. Haven't played that nearly enough. Then we got over here. This is more review stuff, actually. I need to get the review out of Neon Knights. It's like a sort of street race, sort of futuristic thing. It's okay. It's not bad, actually. And Sons of Anarchy is cracker game. Meeple War, brilliant game. Brilliant game. Dojo Kun. Picked it up cheap. Never played it. It's a dice karate game thing. Dragon's Domain, the solo player expansion, Smash Up, still here. Robin Hood, another one on the review list. I just haven't got around to it. But yeah, that looks very nice. Components are beautiful. So have a look at that. War of the Nine Realms, again on the review list. Wotan Games is like a battle game, cool thing. Hit Zero, bit of our good old friend Martin Wallace. Really good, actually fun little game for you trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse. Really great production quantity. It's been cheap recently. See if you can track one down. Really good. Mythotopia, a really underestimated Martin Wallace game. It looks awful. Very bland graphical design there, but it's like a deck builder and a board game and an area control and war game. I've seen it cheap. Games Law. Go and have a look at Games Law. They have this for under a tenner. Absolute steal. Get that for that. Vengeance, basic Kill Builder board game. Tomorrow, an interesting sort of end of the world scenario game. What would you do if the world is coming to an end and the population? How much population would you sacrifice for that? Very fascinating story behind it. It's a good, interesting game. I see interesting it, but it's fun. It's really good. Very clever done. Blockbuster, the pie game, very, very good. Actually, surprisingly for a mainstream game. Race to the North Pole. Then we've got the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings games from Knizia. Which this one's actually harder to get hold of. Got them because, well, I like them. Up here, Space Cadets, Dice Jaws, fun. Storage Wars, very good little game. If you ever seen Storage Wars. Adrenaline, that's all right. This is really good. Pyramid of Penguin. It's a kids game, really, but it plays well with gamers. It's like a hide and seek game. Two sides of a board, like an old battleship game. Yes, good fun. Quarriors, we like a bit of Quarriors, dice chucking. Down here, we got Guilds of London. Lovely, Mr. Boydell. Space Alert. It's a great game, real time, but it takes forever to teach. The Mines of Zavandor, a bit of Pfister, one of Alexander Pfister's early games. It's actually very good. Baseball Highlights, we like a bit of that. Battle at Kimball's Crusade. Can't bring myself to get rid of this because it's like got the 80s arcade aesthetic. Wars of Waterdeep, of course, everyone should have that. The Risk Star Wars, 2 versions. That's the 2-player version. That's very good. That's really good. Rob Davio designed that. And I believe he had involvement in this. Then there's my second copy of List Legacy Season 1. I was playing with the family. We played about 3 games off. Chaos Moss, recently on Kickstarter with expansion. We love Chaos Moss. Really good. Need to play that again. Twilight Imperium Rex. It's kind of been usurped by the June reprint. Slow Tales, lovely. And then a bit of Black Orchestra at the bottom there. That's all Lost to Kill Hitler. What else we got? We got lots of stuff there. So there's Terra Mystica. We love Terra Mystica. A bit of Wallace, a bit of Boydell, Last Will. There we go. Some Talisman. Everyone should have some Talisman. Arabian Nights. Good fun for a good big group storytelling game. Rhino Heroes Super Battle. Brilliant, we like that. Downforce, really great little card-based racing car game. Really enjoy that one. That's my pull out and play at the end or the start of an evening because it plays fairly quickly. Libertalia, classic, really, really great game. Kind of like a deck building-y sort of game where you all start with the same deck of cards and you draw more as you go through the game, and how you play them means that you alternate who's got what in their deck. Really good. Very good. It's out of print, sadly, I think, and currently really expensive. But if you can track down a copy of this reasonably priced, then go for it because you'll not be disappointed. New Angeles, essentially, it was kind of like the follow-up to BSG by FFG. Not actually ever managed to get a game of this yet. We've tried a couple of times, and just it's all fallen apart on us. So one I'm looking forward to having a proper game of. Camel Cup, that's all right, or Camel Up, whatever you want to call it. Time Stories, there's some expansions in there. Ivor the Engine, really vicious little party-ish, game by Tony Boydell. Bixit, still there. Escape, I don't know why that's still there because I don't really play it very often. Up here, we've got Nothing Personal. We love that. Alien Frontiers, Formula D. Bit more Wallace with Study and Emerald, really good. Stockpile with expansions. The Thing. Outpost of 31. That's good little hidden traitor game. I like it's fast. It plays very quickly, but you need a full player count on that one. Clank. Yeah, we like a bit of Clank. Alchemists. Yeah, it was all right. Runebound. We like a bit of Roombound. Well, for the Galaxy, I like that. Just don't play it enough. I was saying with Australia, really good. Doom that came to Lancaster City. That was the first big Kickstarter run and gun. Saw it cheap, picked it up. Really great minis in there. It's basically Monopoly, but it's got nice minis. Homeland, quite a cool little social deduction game. It's all right. Far, we enjoy that bit. The old Dominion and the good old Netrunner. That's not seen nearly enough love. And then over here, the tower continues. Up here, we have the Who Dares Wars Cog, Judge Dredd, the old original Judge Dredd Games Workshop game. Darjeeling, Gloomhaven, City Kings, that's very nice. Blades, we love that. As we do Legendary Encounters with the Predator expansion and the expansions in there. The Blood Rage Kickstarter extras, lovely. Bit Dustin Island expansion. Big Trouble in China, that's good. Ah, yes, TI4. Mechs versus Minions. Down here is the ones we've got Blood Rage, good old Blood Rage. Rising Sun expansions there. Godfather. This is basically the Cool Media Not roll of sin, of shame. Arcadia Quest, some of Arcadia Quest, the others. Bloodborne, more Arcadia Quest, more Arcadia Quest. King of Tokyo, XCOM. We like a bit of XCOM. And then Dracula and Zombicide. And then Cosmic Encounter. Who wouldn't want one of them? Fallout. Fallout was really cool. They've just announced a new expansion for Fallout, which is basically a co-op. Personally, I think this one's dead now. I think FFG are done with this. I think they've done pretty much what they did with Roombound. They've brought out a expansion for it, and I think that's gonna bury it because they've just brought out the other Fallout game. Shame, because I really like what this did, and I was really looking forward, hopefully, that they would produce more expansions for more of the map areas of the game, because they didn't nearly cover half of it. And the actual basic ideas was quite good fun. Outer Rim, it's kind of Firefly the board game, but Star Wars. BSG with all the expansions, most of it's in there. There's another box somewhere down here. Dinosaur Island again, Terraforming Mars, Nodonia, Manchester Madness stuff, Eldritch Horror, we go FFG piles, Forbidden Stars. What a good game. That's such a shame that it never got its expansion, and I would never get rid of that. Love it. Rebellion, it's essentially Star Wars in a box. Lovely. More Star Wars in the box. Imperial Assault, of which we've still got to finish multiple bits of campaigning of that, but that's good fun. Some Portal stuff. Imperial Settlers, still a cracking game. I'm really looking forward to the expansion that he's bringing out this year for this, which adds campaign play to it. So that'd be interesting to see how that plays. 51st State, essentially Imperial Settlers with a post-apocalyptic polish, but it's good fun. Detective, really enjoyed Detective. Robinson Crusoe, another brilliant. All of this, if any of these you should own of board games. They're very good. Arctic Scavengers, love Arctic Scavengers. Such a thematic deck builder, really good. Need to play that more. This War of Mine, saw it cheap, picked it up. I've played a little bit of it. It's okay. It's kind of depressing. Ashes. This was great, and I never really picked anything else up and never really played much more of it. But it was essentially Hearthstone, the board game equivalent or card game equivalent of Hearthstone. Works so well, and they kind of messed it up. They relaunched it and redid stuff with it, and they never supported it enough to start with. And it's still going, I think, but it's a shame because it was a great system and a really good card game. And one I enjoyed playing. We might dig that up and have another go at that and pick up some stuff because I've seen it cheap. Thunderstone, the original Thunderstone Advance, lovely stuff. Enjoy that. Was all we need. We don't need new Thunderstone. That's fine. The Expanse. This is The Expanse. I've got the expansion in there as well. Not played that yet. It's kind of Twilight Struggle, the sci-fi board game. It's okay. It's. I need to play it some more. Really. Dead of Winter. It's a classic, brilliant game. The Iron Throne, which is essentially the Cosmic Encounter reskin of Game of Thrones. The other way around. Room 25. That's such a good game. Really great. If you've seen the movie The Cube, it's essentially the movie The Cube, the board game, and it plays up to 8, and it's a great sort of hidden tray to all sorts of fun and games. Really good game. Should definitely own that. There's an expansion, I think, out for it. There's one waiting to pop out. There we go. There's Jaws from Ravensburger. Really good. Mass market game. Really love this. I love Jaws anyway, but this is a great game. We need to review it. Firefly. We've said enough about Firefly. cracking stuff. June, really, really dig the reprint of this. Again, expansions due for this soon. Spartacus. What a good game Spartacus is. I think sadly now out of print. Gale Force 9, when they're at the top of their tier where they do some good stuff, this is just such a great arena combat game. Brilliant. If you can get a hold of it, track it down. It's just astoundingly fun. Res Arcana, really digging on Res Arcana. Really loving that at the moment. Nemesis is very good. And then Lifeform, essentially similar sort of thing. The Alien ball game, really equivalent. I think Nemesis has tipped it, in my opinion. I think probably because of the bling. But I really also have a soft spot for Lifeform because I love what it's doing and how its design works. It's just good. And some Nemesis promo cards. Then we're down here. We've got Hand of Doom and it's Mean Streaks expansion. Not played, picked up on a Kickstarter group buy because it was reasonable and I got both of that fairly reasonable price. It's like the aesthetic in court. It just looks funky cool. Look at all this. That's crazy. Dungeon Degenerates, really good. I just like it because it's a bit fucked up. Junkheart, great. Chemid, the lovely Chemid. Omino's, another game, a classic. Everyone should have Omino's in their collection. It's just such a great filler game. Then Survive, BSG, the rest of the expansions, Seven Wonders, Mysterium in its original Polish form. That's all of that. Look at that. Oh, God. And then up here, more. There's sort of stuff. There's the Buffy, CCG and stuff and things. Just random stuff at the top there. Century Games, Bloody Inn, all good stuff. Terror, there's a bit of Ghost Tools. Sentinels. Oh, yes. Up here, auctions. This is just stuff I kind of keep hold of because the original Day Dice. Tubes the Boom. Here we go, some classics. There we go. Sigma File, just recently reprinted by Restoration Games. Can't think of what they recalled it, but that's just come out. Pokemon Master Trainer. It's not that great, but it's Pokemon. Berserk, the family version of the arcade game. Brilliant. Look at that 80s graphic. Also, that's surprisingly quite well. It's very sexist. 1970s businessy sort of game. But actually quite a neat little game behind all that. Kojak, well, who doesn't want a Kojak detective game? Heartthrob, the lovely Heartthrob. This is the UK version. It's still good. The $6 Million Man board game. Bionic Crisis. And then we've got down here with some RPGs. Necroscope, really great. The much loathed Indiana Jones RPG. Lovely. I think that's some Games Expo programs. Ghostbusters RPG, brilliant. Good old Vampire, the Alien. This is the leading edge Aliens RPG game. I've seen much love that has. Paranoia, Batman, and then we've got sort of Secret Hitler. There's the toilet game. Weird Japanese social deduction game based around who pooed in the toilet. Picked up at Essen a few years ago. Great stuff. Some books. So there's all the awful green things. Such a good game. This is the pocket version. The travel version of Awful Green Things. Fighting Fantasy, some of the books there. There's a bit of Ignac's board games that tell stories. Look at this. Let's see what this is here. So here we have, this is a long last thing. This is Coin Age. It was TMG's one of their early efforts. Essentially, it's a game that you can play with a credit card and some coins, and it's like a 4X game. Works like that. I've got a couple of copies of it. I'll probably give one away, maybe. There's another version. I think that's my blinged out version of it with everything all done. I'll show you one day. Really good. Oh, God. Some Osprey games that I saw, picked them up to play. Judge Dredd. See, there's a theme there. London for Martin Wallace. Very cool. Some dice for the RPG game. There's Tinderbox and that. We finished with that. Some of my 2000 AD collection. The Boys. All of them. Lovely. And more comic books down there. Look at all this. There's some classic stuff there. I can tell you now. There's some good stuff. You should read pretty much anything you see here. Have a read of that because it's all mostly great. And a trolley which randomly appeared and a bag. Yes, so there we go. So there we go. So there's that. There's the collection. We've had a little tour of that. Hopefully I'll be back soon when I'm feeling more awake, which hopefully will be soon. thank you for tuning in. This has been Who Dares Rolls. Oh, look at this over here. Here's some spoilers for you. Whoa, look at that. That's our Pandemic Season 1 map. Spoilers Central. Really cool. That's what you should do with your Legacy games. Once you finish with them, turn them into wall decorations. Cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. I have been Mike. This has been Who Dares Rolls. And we'll hopefully catch up with you again soon. Maybe. Ta-da! Oh yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and go to Patreon, and go to the website. Do all that stuff. Ta!
Wow.